The first ever video on the 3 Point Sniper YouTube channel. Thank you guys for joining in. This is my first time doing this, so please bear with me and be nice in the comments. But hopefully, we can get these things live moving forward on Saturdays and maybe a few midweek lives as well. But I'm going to go ahead and go through my 11 plays for the day and break down the card. And in the future, we can have the live chat and I can answer any questions you would like. But since YouTube had a 24-hour ban on the account from inception before you can live stream, obviously wasn't able to do it today because I created the account yesterday. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and get into the action. First, we'll start off with Virginia Tech. I absolutely love the Hokies today. They are hosting Virginia. I got this at -1 last night, 1 point favorite. The market has pushed back a little bit, is now a pick. Obviously, still endorse it there. This team is just different now that Hunter Couture is back in the mix. They really fought with UVA in his return, and it was a very close game throughout. We were actually on the Hokies in that one as well. But the Cavs were just too much at home on that night and pulled away. Um, the Hokies do have two impressive home victories since Couture's return, though. Big win over Syracuse and obviously the win over Duke. And going back to Couture, he's averaging 18.3 points per game in his last three. And in those performances, he's made 14 3-pointers. I've got this as a Virginia Tech 65-62 win, so it is obviously a play for me. Now, my favorite play of the day, and it's not just because I'm wearing this hat, but I think the Miami Hurricanes roll today. I think they're going to beat the hell out of Clemson. For starters, Ormier is just going to be a complete mismatch for Middlebrooks and Shiflin in the post. I don't think there's going to be anything that they can do to stop him today. I'm also very concerned about the Clemson's backcourt's ability to defend the likes of Pack and Wong and Miller. And going back to what I've tweeted and written about for the majority of the season, this Clemson team has just gotten lucky. I mean, there's no other way to put it. If you go to shot quality, which is, we're happy to be partnered with shot quality. Those guys do a great thing over there, and their models and data are second to none. If you go to shot quality, Clemson, they have an 18-5 record. But if you dive into that and just go pure off shot quality statistics, the Tigers should be 12-11. Now, I don't think that they're a 500 or around 500 ball club, but I certainly don't think they're 18-5 as well. Now Miami is 17-5, but more impressively, they have a 14-8 record via shot quality. They are a very good team. I think they have a chance to make another run in the tournament this year. We're getting 2 points. That's crazy. I had Miami favored in this matchup. I've got Miami 77-70 in this one. And now we're going to head to Bloomington. Yes, we are fading the #1 team in the country today. But it's not a fade of Purdue. I just really love the way that Indiana is playing recently. We'll start with Trace Jackson Davis. Dude is in beast mode. He's got two 30-point outings in his last 5 games, as well as two 20-point rebounding performances. That is just elite stuff. And he is itching to get after Purdue in Assembly Hall today. Also, I've got a really cool stat for you guys that I found on shot quality. Indiana's off-screen frequency is 79th in the country. They are 7-2 against the spread against teams that are ranked outside of the top 145 teams in the country in defending this type of play type. And Purdue comes in ranked 170th. So that's a good stat. It seems like Purdue could have trouble defending Indiana. We got TJD in beast mode. Race is back, and also Hood Schifino is playing great at the point guard position. Plus, we know Assembly Hall is going to be rocking for this one. I'll gladly take Indiana here at the pick. I've got them winning this game by 3. Indiana 72, Purdue 69. Then we're going to Manhattan. We've got Kansas State +1 hosting the Texas Longhorns. As you may remember, Kansas State put 116 on the Longhorns' heads in Austin this season. Obviously, they won't get near that number today, but I believe that will have a great performance in front of their home crowd, and that is important because the Wildcats have not lost in Manhattan this season. And to the other point, Texas has lost 2 out of their last 3 road games. This is mostly due to defense. They allowed 78 points in Ames and 82 points in Knoxville. As we mentioned earlier, K-State has already eviscerated their defense this season, so they should have a very clear path to points today. I don't think they should be the underdog. Had them as a slight favorite. Got K-State winning 78-74. Now we're going to be shifting to the Valley. This is a fun one. Bradley is going to Northern Iowa. We have Northern Iowa getting 2.5 points here at home. Love this spot for them. They've been, incredible at home recently, winning their last 4 conference games at home. And this is the first time they're returning to action after that thriller where they pushed Drake to double overtime on the road. I think, the freshman Landon Wolf has started to become a real difference maker for this team. He had 15 points off the bench in that outing. And I just personally had Northern Iowa favored in this game, so we'll gladly take the 2.5 points. I think they win a close one. Northern Iowa 69, Bradley 67. Now we're switching to the SoCon. We got Wofford plus 11 at Furman. I love the Terriers today. I'm an upstate South Carolina guy, so I know that this is a big upstate rivalry. These games are always close. The 2 fan bases, really, get passionate about this basketball rivalry. And another thing about this is I don't think Furman's defense is anywhere good enough to be laying this kind of number in this rivalry game. They're 196th in the country in defensive efficiency. And they're also 145th in the country in percentage of opponent points from the 3-point line. Now, Wofford hasn't shot as great as they normally have, but we know this is a program that loves the 3 ball and makes it a staple of their offense. So with Furman not really being able to defend the 3-point line well and their defense just struggling as a whole, I have a hard time seeing how they could cover 11 points in this rivalry game. I do have Furman winning, but I have it closer to the 6 or 7 range. I have it Furman 80, Wofford 73, so I think we cover with the Terriers there. Now we're going to go to Durham. As you can see behind me, you know who I'll be pulling for in that game, but we're going to focus on the total here. Both of these defenses have really struggled against elite offenses this season, and with North Carolina, especially on the road or on a neutral. We all remember Alabama putting 103 on them in regulation. I also think the offenses could, be in line for a boost today, especially Caleb Love. He loves the big game. He loves the national spotlight, as you remember from the tournament run last year. I think he will, get the ball in the hoop a lot more today than he has been recently. And also, I think the energy of Cameron Indoor will get Duke's younger players playing at a faster pace because they are playing a little bit slow for a Duke team this year. But with the energy of this game and the magnitude, I think it'll speed up these freshmen a little bit more. Now we're going to head to Omaha, where we like the over 136.5 with Nova and Creighton. The Blue Jays play at one of the faster paces in the country at home. That Omaha crowd is insane and really gets behind their Jays, and it's one of the reasons it made me fall in love with the program. I love Coach McBuckets and the offense that he runs. And I think this could end up being a 3-point war today. And Villanova will be happy to enter that battle with them. Villanova is currently 39th in the country in the percentage of their points from threes, and Creighton is actually 47th. So I think the 3 ball is going to be flying. I don't really love the perimeter defense for either team either. And I think that the Jays, always get rocking and rolling behind that home crowd. So I have this total closer to 140. Now we're going to go to Dayton. I really think this team is rounding into form. I know that Loyola game last time out was a little sketchy, but I think their win over Richmond is closer to what we will see from the Flyers moving forward. And I think that they're, with the return of Malachi Smith and Kobe Ellis, they're super, super deep. They can play 9 guys and have no problem doing it. On the other end, the Bonnies are not deep at all. They play mostly 5 guys. They have 6 and 7 come off the bench, but it's always 10 minutes or less per game. And so if there's any kind of foul trouble for the Bonnies, it's really going to be a problem for them. And also, I think Dayton's just going to win this game on defense. They're 19th in the country in defensive efficiency. The Bonnies come in at 106th. And like I said, the Dayton Flyers have, a lot of their offensive weapons back in the fold, and, they're deep and they got scores at every level. So I think this is a good spot for them. Definitely lay the 5 points. I've got them winning 69-60. Now we're going to go to Rupp. As you know from my recent blogs, I really like the way that this Kentucky team is rounding into form. I don't like Coach Cal as a coach, but I think he can handle Florida today. This line is a little affected, obviously, by Florida's big win over Tennessee this past week. I think that's a little bit of an anomaly. Also, Kentucky's getting back Cason Wallace today. And as I pointed out in my recent video, what's up, doggo? I really think that he's the difference maker in this game. And, this team just plays completely different when he's at the helm as opposed to Severe Wheeler. And I also just really think that, Oscar's going to get up for this battle with Castleton, and he's just too athletic for him. I've got Kentucky winning this 73-66. And then lastly, we're going to go out to California for the matchup with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. As you remember, St. Mary's knocked off number 1 Gonzaga in this matchup last year. I just don't think you can fool Mark Few twice. I think he's going to have his guys ready to go for this one. And a huge factor in this game is going to be the post. I really think Drew Timme and Anton Watson are going to have their way with Saxon. He really struggled the other night in that game with San Francisco. And also, as you know, because we lost the over on that game, but St. Mary's was just dreadful from the field. 32% from the field, worst performance of the season. Don't really love their chances against this Gonzaga team when they're coming into this game, shooting as poor as they have all year long. It's not a good time to be facing Gonzaga. I had this game closer to a pick anyways. If you're going to give me 3 points with Gonzaga, I'm going to take it. I think Gonzaga wins this game by 1 or 2 points. Will be really tight, but like I said, having the full 3 points in my pocket, is where it's going to make the difference. And that's it for the card today. I'm excited to, just sit on the couch with my dog and have a few cold ones and enjoy this action. I'll be conversing with you guys on Twitter, and I just appreciate you taking the time to join me on this first video, and hopefully we can go live on the ones moving forward. I need some kind of like cheesy, catchy thing to do at the end in regards to like sniping, maybe like a bow and arrow type thing, or is that a little too cringe? Maybe I could dig out, my old Legolas action figure and have him shoot bows and arrows at the camera, but we'll figure that out for another day. In the meantime, let's enjoy a cold one. Cheers, and thank you for following along.